welcome into Rocks on the Pond. I'm Matthew Sapikoff, and I'm joined here today with the instinctive Isaac Manon. How you doing, Isaac? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. It was nice, to be able to not have class. It was a good time to spend with family, though. See
Absolutely.
everyone. How was yours?
Busy, good. We had a full house at our residence this year.
Oh, you hosted it?
Yeah, 18 people.
Whoa. We didn't have that much.
Good food, though. 2 turkeys.
2?
Yeah.
Jeez, you guys were throwing down some turkey, weren't you?
Turkey, what was it, enough servings for 36 people for potatoes?
Holy cow.
Yeah,
you guys.
The Sapikoffs love their potatoes.
Yeah,
We're
you guys brought
family.
Everything. See, mine was only I think we had 8 to 12.
Yeah, that's nice, though. That's
it was nice.
I think there were people there I didn't even say hi to.
Yeah, I saw. I said hi to everyone. We had a little mishap with the nephew early in the morning. Little guy cut his eye right here.
Oh no.
So, it isn't a holiday if you aren't having someone go to the ER, right?
Yeah.
We thought the poor guy was gonna go blind, but he doesn't need no stitches. He's good.
That's good.
He's good.
Well, today it is finally December. We haven't seen you guys in a while. It's December 4th, 2025. And we've been away for a while, but the MLB offseason has not waited for us.
No.
We've had a lot of big trades happen and a few cool free agency signings. And I think we're going to talk maybe some trade rumors later as well. And then, oh, yes, of course, the Rockies can finally start doing
office things.
Yeah, they finally filled their GM position and can now hopefully start worrying about the player side of the sport.
Yeah, the important aspect of the game.
But we got it all here. We're going around the horn with it all today. Where you want to start, Isaac?
I say we do trades.
I think that's a good place to start. I think that's been been really interesting so far.
There's been a lot going on lately, and they're starting to come quicker too. I feel like one team kind of started it, and now everyone's like, okay, let's.
And that's how free agency goes. Once the ball starts rolling, it's rolling. But it's been super. The 2 first trades I think we're going to talk about first are really interesting because they're trades you don't really see a lot in the MLB, and they're straight up 1-for-1s of MLB ready guys or veterans.
Yeah, you don't really see 1-for-1s are.
They're not common in baseball.
No, not at all.
But the first one of the offseason was, in my mind, very weird. The Angels traded outfielder Taylor Ward for Orioles starting pitcher Grayson Rodriguez. I guess what was your initial reaction to this trade?
Outfielder for starting pitcher is kind of my first one. The whole normally if you're getting rid of a spot, you're gonna want to refill that spot.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw that they're trading an outfielder for a starting pitcher, I was like, okay, where are they? Do they have someone in mind that they're going to go pick up maybe later down the road that's going to fill it? Or how are you going to do that? Because outfielder starting pitching is 2 completely different spots.
I will say that with the MLB offseason and trades, it's good to look at these things not as one move at a time, but moves are going to be leading to other moves. You're not freeing up you free up certain things to be able to do other things as well. I imagine this is not the only. Well, we know these weren't the only moves made by the Angels so far, and for the Orioles. But I do think that there's going to be more in the works for these teams for sure. But I'll be honest. I think this was a really, really weird trade for the Orioles, and I don't understand why they did it.
Yeah, especially when you look at really looking at it. This one's weird.
Yeah, if you look at the Orioles roster, they just paid Tyler O'Neill last year, so they have a left fielder. They have a plethora of young outfielder talent. So you're like, okay, this guy hit 36. Taylor Ward hit 36 home runs last year, but that's not a position group you need. You need pitching.
Yeah,
that was your problem last year is you didn't spend on pitching, and now you're sending away a former top pitching prospect with 4 years of control for 1 year of Taylor Ward, and I don't think that's worth it.
No, not really at all.
I do understand that Rodriguez has been injury prone the last few years, and but he still has extremely high upside.
Right.
In his last healthy year in 2024, he had a sub-4 ERA, and he's still a young guy. That's like the arm talent is still absolutely there. So I'm wondering if the Orioles plan on maybe signing. See, it doesn't make sense because they're probably spending extra money to get Ward. Ward's probably going to command about $12 million in arbitration, and so they need to go spend money on pitchers, and they just gave one away.
Yeah, and they just gave one away. I mean, I think the big one though is that injury problem that he's had. I think that was kind of one of the main reasons why they wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah, they could totally have been scared and said we're ready to move on.
But then maybe go and look at a different pitcher instead of you know what I mean?
The thing is, I guarantee you, Grayson Rodriguez would have commanded a lot of interest from a lot of other teams. There had to be other people calling around, and unless they didn't reach out. And I know Taylor Ward, there were rumors of him being traded at the deadline, and I don't want to disrespect Angels fans because a lot of people would say this about the Rockies more so as well, but like moves they make, like if Houston or I know I've heard other people have this take, but if teams where they've developed guys well get their hands on Grayson Rodriguez, you're like oh no, like they're gonna change something, they're gonna make him better, but one, I don't know if LA has that track record, and two, I think a lot of people would be giving the Angels more credit if they were another team, because this could be at worst with Grayson Rodriguez you're getting probably a good bullpen piece. Yeah, and that's if he cannot start anymore and he can't keep going long. So
yeah, and he's only now being able to go 3 innings if you know.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as Taylor Ward goes for the Orioles, like I said, they already have a busy outfield, so that didn't quite make sense. But 36 home runs is a lot of hits. He only had a 228 average, but 103 RBIs and an OPS plus of 119. It's a good bat to have in the lineup.
Yeah,
so.
And that's average now, especially when you start looking at
people don't care about batting average.
People don't care about
batting
batting
averages. Which I think they
averages.
should, but
nope, not in this day and age. They like to see the long ball.
But then again, if you're bringing in over 100 runs in a year, any team's gonna want you.
Yeah.
So I think it's an interesting trade, and I don't necessarily think it's gonna be the end for these teams as far as going after things they need. But I think that's all I have on that trade. I just thought it was weird.
Yeah, it's just a weird. I don't know.
But I will give props to the Angels. Like, that could be a really good move. They might be able to get an ace out of this if they can turn him around. So.
Yeah, I mean, good for them though. It could go both ways though. I mean, maybe the idea for the Orioles was they wanted a veteran in the outfield with a young group. I don't know.
I don't know.
But it's just I'd love to see if they ever come out with something about why they did that.
And the thing is, too, you can't really grade these trades until down the line when you see how they go. But with one-for-one trades, it's a little easier.
Yeah.
Now, the next trade that I think we were going to get to is, I think, a lot more even and a lot more. I don't know, it was also super interesting. The one-for-one that happened next was the Texas Rangers sending second baseman Marcus Semien to the Mets for outfielder Brandon Nimmo. And I thought this was a clear sign of how the direction that the Mets are going to move in this offseason. I think there were a few teams this offseason where good teams where you're saying they've had the same group for a while. They might need a shakeup. It's kind of like them and the Phils. But, Nimmo was the longest tenured Met. And he was the last guy who played with the captain, David Wright. And I know that you're like, what does that mean? But, like, for Mets fans, that's important. That's a statue guy there, and that's the longest tenured Met. That'd be like if the Rockies lost Charlie Blackmon or something, and we did, but that was to retirement.
Yeah, but
we
that
didn't
was
trade him away.
Yeah,
but
it's different. It's different when you trade away a player that's been there for so long. It's like when they traded Troy Tulowitzki from the Rockies.
Yeah,
that
and
one
at
hurt.
least with Tulo, like it was injuries and stuff.
Yeah, and like he I knew he was gonna go, but it was one of those where you're like, gosh, like. I'd hate to see him go.
Yeah. But this was just one for one, and as far as it goes, Semien has 3 more years on his 7-year, $175 million deal, and Nimmo has 5 years left on his 8-year, $162 million deal.
Jeez.
This guy got paid, right? But money-wise, like it's similar. Like no, you're exchanging a few more years of if you're the Mets, you're exchanging a fewer years but a little more money.
Right.
But I think the Mets are absolutely going in a different direction with a lot of their guys this year, because second base was held down by Jeff McNeil. And in the middle of the season, there's been some clips flying around of Mets locker room and field, guys butting heads. And there was a play where Jeff McNeil got a grounder at second and was really slow in the transfer to Lindor. It cost them a double play, and this was in the midst of a 6-game losing streak. But I think Cohen and the Mets are trying to beef up their defense, and they did so by getting a Gold Glove second baseman in Simeon to pair with Francisco Lindor up the middle.
Yeah, good middle group that they've got. It was a good trade. That's a good trade. I think it's good for both teams.
I agree.
And it's balanced. I feel like it's a balanced trade.
I agree. I think this is the most balanced trade we have so far. But when you're looking at what the Rangers are getting, I would say Nimmo is a good leader. He was probably a part of keeping that locker room together a little bit in New York, but he's also been a super consistent left-handed bat over the course of his career. And the Rangers are also a team that's making a lot of changes because they DFA'd Adolis Garcia and Jonah Heim. So in right field, they're going from one of the best arms in Garcia to one of the worst in Nimmo. But another left-handed bat for a predominantly right-handed outfielder, if I'm not mistaken, with Wyatt Langford. I mean, they have Seager. That's a good left-handed bat, but I think he'll offer good consistency probably at the top of the lineup.
Yeah, he'll fit in the lineup real well. It's a good trade for both teams.
I just wonder how Mets fans feel, because that's like
that's a stab.
I'm
right
sure
there.
they don't. I'm sure they'd rather have guys like Pete Alonso back, which again he's probably gone. I don't know if that relationship's great between him and the Mets, but the Mets have really changed things up, and I'm interested to see how their fans feel about losing their longest tenured player.
Yeah, there's going to be some stuff on social media about that. I mean, there always is, especially if when you trade just a guy in general away.
And the thing was too, Nimmo waived his no trade clause for this, so he was in a way. I think there were mutual talks saying it was time to move on, and a few other things, but
yeah, like hey, by the way, you're probably not going to be here. Huh. Hey, it'd be like that sometimes, though. They do that to a lot of these teams nowadays. Now it's just a money scheme.
Yeah.
If you can bring in the money.
But I do think this is probably a good fit for both teams.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Moving on, this is our last trade so far, if I'm not mistaken, but the Cardinals sent a former Yankee to the rival Boston Red Sox. Cardinals sent Sonny Gray and $20 million in cash considerations for right-handed pitcher Dick Fitz. You heard that right. And Boston, depending on where you look, they're number 5 through 9 maybe prospect. I've seen them in a different place, but their left-handed pitcher, Brandon Clark, and either a player to be named later or cash considerations. So definitely not a 1-for-1, but what do you think in this trade?
I mean, ooh. I think those are going to be good games when he plays against the Yankees.
Yeah, did you see some of the stuff he was saying in his introductory press conference?
No, I didn't.
He was kind of talking some smack to New York, and he was saying he never really wanted to be there and stuff, and it was really funny. Other clips started surfacing of when he was on the Yankees, like, I couldn't ask for a better opportunity. So it's funny because, like, what else are you going to say?
Right.
I think both, it's more of just, like, appealing to the new fans and just
he's trying to
endear yourself to the new city. But Sonny Gray is a 3-time All-Star. He's coming off a year where he had 32 starts and 180 innings. He put up a 4.28 ERA, so that's not great, but over his career, he's about a 3.5-ish ERA. And as you can see, 180 innings is easily the new 200-inning mark. So he's a certified innings eater, and it's not like you're expecting him to be an ace. If you're the Red Sox, you have Crochet, you have Bayo. Like, just adds great depth.
He's just going to be a guy that's going to start later down the week.
But it's a great third probably starter for him, I'd say.
maybe 3. Yeah, you'll have 3 starters where you're like, we can almost guarantee a win. Ideally.
Yeah, I mean Crochet the Red Sox could also bulk up a lot. They have a lot of prospects to trade from. I think I can get into that with some true trade rumors later. But
right.
As far as what the Cardinals got,
one of our cards fell. That's my bad.
No, it was one of my cards from Japan. Sorry, Kazushia Makita of the Lions. But
of the what?
The Lions.
The Lions.
I didn't see where the team was.
That's okay.
But when you look at what the Cardinals got, at first you're like, okay, salary dump. Your guys are resetting, but that's not necessarily fair because they gave $20 million in cash considerations to get a better player return. But that's why you get one of their top prospects, their left-handed pitcher, Ryan Clark. He's topped at 100 from the left side. He's been limited in low A ball because of past injuries, but he was a high strikeout guy, also high walk guy. That's how a lot of young guys are. And then Richard Fitz, we'll call him.
Yeah, Mr. Fitz.
I mean, he could be a back-end starter for them this year. He was getting innings with the Yankees this year, younger guy, but it's not. It's something where the Red Sox are A-OK letting a guy like that go for getting Sonny Gray. So
yeah, well, and Sonny Gray is such a big name too. He really is good.
He's been a mark of consistency over his 12-year career.
Yeah, he's a consistent.
I don't know if he's ever had close Cy Young finishes, but he's always been solid. I mean, that's what you get when you have a 3.5 career ERA.
What you see is what you'll get almost with him.
Yeah,
you can look at his past and you'll be like, okay, that's
he'll give you innings.
Yeah,
he'll start 30 games, and he'll go relatively long in all of them. And he'll do what a starter should do.
He'll give you a shot at winning a game.
Yeah, but I think that's what I guess if I don't like saying I pick the winners in these trades because, like I said, we have to wait for a while and see how things play out and what fills out around the rest of these teams. But I think this is a great move for the Red Sox, and I think for the Cardinals, this signifies that they will be finally entering a rebuild. I think Arenado could be traded. I think Donovan could be traded. So,
this might be they might be cleaning house.
And
I
think people have expected that of them over the last 2 years, and they've been like kind of good enough at some points of the year to not do it. But I think this year they finally deal all their big names.
Yeah, they'll clean house a little bit, kind of sweep off the dust of some of the guys. Pick up. I think they're trying to get something fresh. They're moving more towards the fresh blood type of guys.
Yeah, and I believe they're under new general management, so he probably wants to move in some different directions as well. So
good for them, though. It's a good. I mean, 2 good trades, especially one good one for one that has you really scratching your head.
Yep.
But so far it's not too bad.
Yeah, and I guess we'll jump into the actual free agency signings now. A few smaller ones for the teams we've already mentioned. The Angels signed Alek Manoah to a 1-year, $1.9 million deal. He, in 2022, I believe, he was a great starter. He was an all-star. But in Toronto, he kind of just disappeared. Like, he just started getting rocked. He's not a velo guy. The way I see it, it's low risk, medium reward. Like, it's only a 1-year flyer on a guy.
Yeah.
What's the worst that's gonna happen? Starter? Yeah, you're not really losing anything on that.
Yeah. We just threw away only, about a couple mil. It's
for a starter, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's league minimum for a starter. Like, so I think that's fine. And the Orioles did sign Ryan Helsley to their bullpen on a 2-year deal worth $28 million, although there's a player option for 2026, so it's a 1+1 technically. Helsley's had a great track record except this last year. I believe he has a Reliever of the Year award, but looking at it this year, especially with the Mets, he was getting rocked. I don't know why, but it seemed like his fastball was a lot flatter than it had been in previous years, and it seemed to be a result of a higher release point.
Maybe he was trying something new out this year.
Yeah.
I mean, well, and that's what a lot of these pitchers do. You see they have one bad year, and they probably were changing some sort of mechanics up.
Yeah. And
so maybe
relievers are super
they don't
year to year.
They change up everything every year, it seems like.
Yeah, they're year to year, and especially with baseball today. I mean, with all the technology around, like you can change your pitches in a few bullpen sessions and have a whole new pitch mix if you really felt like you had to reset everything.
And maybe the whole like when you're talking about the statistics, a lot of it too is they're like, oh well, if you get your release points here instead of here, like by an inch, you're gonna earn this more backspin on your ball. You're gonna get rise on your. It's gonna look like your ball's rising more. You know, all that. So maybe he was trying something new that they were like, hey, give this a shot. We'll see how it goes.
But I mean, I don't hate this signing. I think even though he's a super high quality reliever and this seems like a lot of money, this is still like a buy low situation because he did struggle this year. He wasn't great with the Mets, and with the Orioles, like Felix Bautista, their normal closer, has run into a bunch of injuries that have really kind of derailed the amazing start to his career, and I don't think it's a bad filler for now if Bautista can't get right.
Yeah, and you know what you're going to – and that's one of those, too. You kind of know what you might get because you know he's going to – what he used to be, right? He's you saw his track record before that, before his bad year. So you know what a bad year might look like, but you also know what a great year for him is going to look like.
Yeah, and it is, I believe, a player option in the second year. So if he does have a great year again, he can opt to go hit free agency again.
Yeah.
So,
which you never know. That incentive right there is what makes a lot of players perform a lot better.
Absolutely. And then the other reliever off the board is staying in New York.
Yeah, we didn't.
Except he is changing boroughs. Devin Williams is heading from the New York Yankees to the New York Mets on a 3-year, $51 million deal. No opt-outs or anything. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw that when that popped up. I was like, there's no way.
I mean, I feel like if you're a Yankees fan, you're like, we tried it with you, and you didn't have a good year. That being said, I think they put him in some bad situations. They expected him to be shut the door when they put him in bad situations, and I don't know. I mean, the first half of the year was bad, but the second half of the year was great. He still had a really good strikeout to walk ratio, but he also had a lot higher of a like just ERA and like runners allowed, and
he didn't have the year he wanted to,
and he also allowed a lot more home runs than he ever has. No, not RBIs. Yeah, I think he like tripled his runs earned in this year over his previous 3, and that's another thing where it's like it's kind of buy low because he had a bad year, but at the same time, Devin Williams, everybody knows, the airbender and all that, so.
At least he doesn't got to go far, right?
That's true. You just got to move boroughs. He must love the big city, getting out of Milwaukee. But
well,
I don't know. I think if you're the Mets, I've heard that this doesn't rule them out for going after Edwin Diaz.
Okay.
And I think it's really important that they do get Diaz back because it's just. He means so much for that organization. He's spent his whole career there. He's been so lights out for them. Unless he's just getting other big money from someone like the Dodgers and he's really trying to win like that, I think he can go back. But I think if you're the Mets, you don't want to rely on him to be your closer. You want him to be your 8th inning guy, your setup guy. So.
Well, it'd be nice to have 2 of them too on the team.
Yeah.
I
think the consensus of what I've heard online from Mets fans is. He does make their team better immediately, but they'd be a little sketched out if he was their opening day closer.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's been a little rickety with that lately.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, I mean, again, you can't look at all these things as one move. You got to look at them as setting up other moves or preparing for other things.
It's a hint to what they might be working more towards.
Absolutely. And then. We already talked about Josh Naylor. in a previous episode, but the boys up north are having a busy offseason free agency, and they have made a big splash with 2 pitchers.
They're pretty pissed that they didn't win the World Series.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are making that well known right now in the free agent that they want to win.
Yeah, and now, okay, the 2 free agents they have signed are Dylan Cease and KBO MVP, former batting practice in the MLB, Cody Ponce. And, I mean, now you have Gausman, Bieber, who opted in for whatever reason. He must just really feel guilty about giving up that home run. Yeah, that was the winning run.
He's like, I'll make it up to you guys. I'll come back.
You have those 2, and now you have Cease, Savage, and Ponce. That's crazy. That's a great rotation.
That's a great rotation that isn't the Dodgers.
Yeah. And we'll start with Cease. And I think he set the bar high for as far as these other starting pitchers in the market are going. But he got a 7-year, $210 million deal. That's so much money.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money.
That's so much money.
Holy
that seems fake.
Cow.
And,
for a pitcher?
Yeah. But I've been like stuck in between if I think this is an overpay or not. I think my thought process is you can never have enough good pitching. I think if he didn't have a bad contract year, Cease absolutely commands this money, and he has a Cy Young 2 and a Cy Young 4, so you know what kind of player he can be again. But him and Gausman are the top 2 guys in strikeouts since 2020. So you're going to have a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of strikeouts.
But Cease also walks a lot of guys, but hey, that's what everyone said about Blake Snell too, and then his free agency went weird, and he ended up with the Dodgers, and everyone was sad about that. So, I mean, wow. I think it was maybe a little bit of an overpay as far as getting it done quick, getting it done before Thanksgiving. Although this is Canada, they don't do American Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they don't do American Thanksgiving.
And I mean, I think it's a good move because he has Cy Young stuff.
Yeah,
and
I mean that rotation
in a few years. I believe this is Gausman's last year, and Bieber. This is. I still feel like since he took that extension, he opted in, they're gonna have an extension lined up eventually. But as it sits right now, you have him and Gausman on walk years, so you need another pitcher for the future, and that's gonna be Dylan Cease.
Yeah, I mean they got him for 7 years, 210.
I mean the stuff he has is insane. His whiff rate's huge, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, but it's just the fact that he can. I mean, he's an innings eater too. He'll give you 200 strikeouts in the year, and he'll give you 180 or 200 innings. And starting pitching is so valuable that if you can get a guy like this, you got to pay him. Yeah, and it's only going to make the market higher for guys like Framber Valdez. So it's really. You're just only making other teams pay more.
Yeah,
too.
now it's going to be like, oh, well, these lower teams are not going to be able to get these guys now.
Yeah. And then the other signing, I'll admit I don't know much about this guy.
Yeah,
but Cody Ponce, I believe is how it's pronounced, was the Korean Baseball League, the KBO MVP, posting a 17-1 record with a 1.89 ERA, 252 strikeouts, and 180 and 2/3 innings. Now, we know that the KBO is not the same talent as the MLB, and in the last time he was in the MLB, he was the worst reliever in baseball. Just
numbers-wise.
Numbers, yes. He ranked 426 out of 436 in ERA and 21 with the Pirates. This is a minimum of at least 35 innings.
Yeah.
He ranked 436 out of 436 in batting average allowed, and also 436th in OPS allowed. So, whatever he's done, he's turned it around. The reports are that in the MLB, his fastball average was around 93, but now it's around 95, and he gets up to 99 too. So whatever he's done, he's worked on, and he's gotten a lot better, and he's now commanded a 3-year, $30 million deal out of it.
Jeez.
So we've seen players come back from the KBO and be really good, a la Merrill Kelly. He's a guy who went there, fixed a lot of stuff, and has been great since his return. So, I mean, the projected starting five, this rotation, it's going to be Cease, Gosman, Bieber, Yasavage, and then, I mean, Ponce, Barrios, Lauer. They have a plethora. So they're now, when you're looking at the Jays, they've been in the mix for obviously Bichette, but also Kyle Tucker. But this signing probably takes them off the board for one of them. So you're only going to be getting either Bichette or Tucker.
Right.
But that being said, if you're a team, especially this one, and you're saying at the beginning of the year, I want either the best or second best pitcher on the market, and I also want one of the best hitters on the market, or do I want two of the best hitters on the market? I think Blue Jay fans would say, I do want Dylan Cease, and I want either Bichette or Tucker. Not Tucker and Bichette.
Yeah. Well, that logically too, that's probably what you want, because you're getting them as the best bang for your buck almost, with getting a really good starter and a good bat without needing to be like, okay, well, we got two good bats, but we don't have an arm now.
Yeah, but and you saw it in the postseason, like how important arms were, and especially with the Dodgers, because they had a plethora of starters. Like, it was a lot less. You'd be like, all right, we don't have to worry about our starters because they're all stars, and then some of them can go to the bullpen or whatever. But like, you just got a certified innings eater, and you got the KBO MVP coming to join a team that was an out away from the World Series, basically. So
an out away from the World Series.
Oh. I think that as far as free agency talk, that's really all the huge things that have happened so far. But I do want to get into maybe a few trade rumors and see if you throw some names out and see if you think they'll get traded. And I am gonna and maybe where they go, if you're feeling frisky.
Oh, if I'm feeling.
Yeah. I'm gonna start it off with Adley Rutschman. What do you think's gonna happen to him? Do you think he's gonna get traded?
Yeah. I think we talked about that too earlier.
Yeah.
A couple episodes ago.
I think he will get traded. I'm less and less thinking it's going to be Philadelphia because, according to Real Muto, he's willing to take a shorter contract for a little more money if it means staying on a good team.
Okay.
And I just think
so
he would want to return.
Yeah.
So I don't know about that, but I mean the Red Sox. I'm gonna say the Red Sox can trade for a lot of guys here just because they have a great farm system.
Yeah.
I think guys on the table for them would be more pitching. I'd say this one tentatively because I don't think it's going to happen, but I think if anyone can do it, it's the Red Sox. But I think they could make the best trade package for Tarek Skubal.
Ooh.
And they'd probably have to include like Marcelo Meyer, Christian Campbell, and like Jarren Duran.
I don't see that.
Yeah, see, it gets tricky, and I hope for Tiger's sakes, for the MLB's sakes, he doesn't get traded. But
I don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
But okay, I'll stick with Red Sox. Do you think Jarren Duran's gonna get traded? He's been in the rumor mill probably the last 2 years. They have a lot of like left-handed outfielders, and he could command them a good price. He's, I believe, in his last year of his contract, and I've just seen a lot of potential teams being interested in a really fast stud left-handed bat. One of which is being the Diamondbacks, although their outfield's chocked with left-handed bats.
Yeah, so there's. I mean, he could get traded, and it might be one of those where they're like, okay, we'll give you him, but we'll want this, and this. You know, they could use that as just a leverage to get a couple other guys, maybe. But I if anything, I think he stays.
Yeah,
I think he stays.
And I think I'm just gonna throw two more light ones. They're big players, but they're not likely trades, I think. But there's been a few rumors splashed around here and there about them. First one being Fernando.
Really?
Hear some rumblings here and there. You never know how legit they are, but I just want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I don't see that. Not even no.
What do you think the price would have to be?
What's his contract right now? Do we know?
Let's see. I got it.
Because I think whatever he's getting paid now, it's got to be darn close to it.
Well, obviously you want someone who can plug in for him somewhat, as well as pitching since you're losing Cease, and it seems like the Dodgers are in a less spending mood lately.
Well, they've already got all the guys that they need.
That's what I'm saying. Well, they have guys that they don't necessarily that are getting old on the books, like Machado and Bogarts and stuff. And Tatis is on contract for the 14 years.
Yeah.
So he's in year
2
of his 14-year deal. So, I mean, hey, we saw a contract and a player like this get traded with Rafael Devers. So. I don't see why they would, because they're still competitive, and it's not like...
Yeah, but the Red Sox needed players when they traded Devers.
Yeah.
I mean, the Padres don't really... I mean, yeah, you got rid of Cease, but you don't really...
And I think they'll be in the market for some of these Japanese players coming over. And again, I think they could get Imai, but... I don't see them trading him either. I just think he means too much. He's too good, and they're not bad enough for that all to happen.
They are a playoff contention team, so they're not going to want to throw away that if they get rid of Tatis. Because, I mean, literally, if you get rid of Tatis, that other team has to give up a really good player.
Yeah, the return would have to be crazy.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be like a big blockbuster trade.
And it would be. The last one I'm going to throw at you, and I think this is the most possible out of the ones I've said, except maybe Rutschman. Ketel Marte. There's been rumblings throughout the year that the organization's not happy with him, that there's been some trouble in the locker room, and maybe that's all been overplayed, but he's been in the rumor mill a bit lately. What do you think of that?
I mean, really, when big name like that, kind of put up some good stats the way he is. I mean, and the thing though is like, and you mentioned that whole locker room aspect of everything. I've started to notice too that some of these guys, that if they have anything wrong with the locker room, they will get sent out in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like, it has gotten to that point where they're like, oh, their locker room presence with the other guys sucks. So then all of a sudden you just see, so like 2 weeks later, all right, they just got traded for a couple draft picks and some other guys.
Yeah, for sure. And interesting to look at. Ketel Marte is on contract. So till 2031, but it's a player contract in 2031. So he has 5 years left of a 6-year, $116.5 million deal. That's fairly team friendly for the best second baseman in baseball. He's been all MLB the last 2 years. I do think he's far and away the best second baseman in baseball. Do you think that they would trade him?
Unless they're trying to rebuild.
Well, the way I see it is that if you're trading Ketel Marte, like I said with Tatis, you want to get someone who can fill that hole, similarly to Ketel Marte, and that just doesn't exist in the MLB.
No.
I truly think he's far and away the best hitting and fielding combination second baseman in the league.
He's a switch hitter.
Yeah, that too.
He's a good switch hitter. He's not like your average where he's okay on the right side but good on the left. No, he's good on both sides.
Yeah, but I mean, if they moved him, they could definitely get good starting pitching and a right-handed outfield bat that could help them, and I'm sure they'd want something to plug up second. And that player would have to be an MLB-ready second baseman that could fill that hole.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. That's the hard thing though about filling a spot. Though, second base is such a crucial one.
It's at a premium. There's
like,
not a lot of.
You could get away with
second baseman that hit.
You can get away with the first baseman. They threw Bryce Harper in first.
Yeah, but he's a good fielding.
Yeah,
he's a great athlete, and that's moving from outfield in.
But you threw an outfielder at first because he was injured.
Yeah,
and that you don't want him to get hurt anymore. So you're like, here, let me give you the most like. I'm not gonna say uncoordinated because they are pretty coordinated. First basemans are good.
You ain't gotta move a lot.
Yeah,
though.
but
it's a low impact position.
You could be a big boy and still rock it.
Yeah, but I just don't see them being able to find a trade that can make them happy.
Yeah,
because you need to be able to refill second base, which, like we just said, is a hard position to get that good a talent at. But you could get a good return that I think if the locker room is really that bad and both of these both Cattell and the organization are a little. If the relationship's a little sour, I could see him being moved.
Yeah, they just gotta. They'll come to an agreement. I think he'll stay. I mean, if he does get traded, though,
there's also only so many teams that could trade for him. I think the Yankees wouldn't. They have Jazz, and they're not really in the spend mode either. The Mets just got their second baseman. I mean, the Dodgers would have to put in a really big haul to get him.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. They've already got. They just have everyone. They have everyone.
But the team that I think could make this trade,
the Rockies.
No, not the Rockies. The team that I think could make this trade is a team where he started off his career. Seattle.
You think?
Seattle has 7 top 100 prospects in their farm system, according to Baseball America, tied over the most of any other team, and they already have a great MLB roster. Right now, they have a hole as Polanco is a free agent. I know they don't necessarily want to trade their top prospect shortstops and stuff, but I think if you have 7 top 100 prospects, you might not have to give away a single piece of MLB talent to get Ketel Marte at second base. Now, just imagine that.
I'm imagining
that lineup.
It.
Julio, Ketel, Dumper, Naylor as your top 4. That's ridiculous.
Man, yeah, that's good. But I still don't. I don't even see that happening. I don't think Seattle trades for him.
I think if they were, I do think they're in a very aggressive win now moment. I think they feel like their window's just opening, and I feel like if you're a team that has the best farm system in baseball, and you already have all your pitching that you could ever dream of, and you already have such an amazing MLB lineup,
right?
You can sacrifice 3 or 4 of these prospects and go get Ketel frickin' Marte.
Yeah.
You have 2 switch-hitting studs in your lineup. That would be so dangerous.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe they're... Yeah, but that's going to be like a short-term kind of thing. That's going to be a couple years that they're going to get with Ketel. Whereas if you have a prospect, I mean...
Ketel's under contract for 5 more years.
Yeah, 5 more years. Yeah, 2031.
That's a while. That's their championship window.
It's not. No, I don't still see it being it. I don't see that happening. Just because, I mean, really though, I don't see that. Like, ideally, I don't think they are gonna want to go and spend that much because of how much every other guy that's already on the team is gonna want there.
Well,
but Ketel's gonna want a good amount. He's gonna want. How much would he get paid out here?
Well. It's not very consistent. For this year, he's getting 16 mil. Following year, 12 mil, and then in 2028, 20 mil. 2029, 22, 2030, 2022 mil, and then in 2031, he has a player option for 11.5 mil, and that'll be his age 37 season.
But he's still gonna want 20 on average 21 million a year. For what, the next 5 years?
I mean, the contract gets traded with him.
Yeah. I don't see that. I don't think Seattle's going to want to pay that.
See, in my mind, it's almost like trading 5 years of control of a non, a player who hasn't certified himself in the MLB as a stud, an all MLB second baseman back-to-back years. 5 years of control of that guy, albeit those 5 years cost. About $100 million. But, or, prospects you can control for 4 and 5 years who aren't necessarily going to pan out, aren't certified MLB stars. And I think that if a team has an opportunity to trade for MLB-ready talent, let alone all-star talent, they should.
Yeah, well, of course the team should. Will they? I don't see that. I don't see him.
If it wasn't this year, if it was last year, I'd agree with you 100%. And you want to know why?
Well,
because they started spending money. They offered the contract to Naylor. They have all their pitchers on pre-arb contracts, basically, or arbitration contracts. And they have Dumper on a fairly team-friendly contract, and they have Julio on a fairly team-friendly contract. Like, This is why you get guys on team-friendly contracts, so you can go spend the money.
So you can spend the money, and they are willing to spend the money. So it's not like they're not gonna.
That's what I'm saying. They finally shown the fact that they're willing to do it.
If they're willing to spend money. Yes, maybe they get it, but I don't see Arizona
wanting to part ways with him. I'm sure the reports were probably a little
could have been twisted a little bit.
Yeah. I'm sure in a locker room they can work stuff out, and I know he was going through a hard time over the year. And I know at one point he like a fan was yelling at him about his deceased mother, and
it's like the whole Jaron Durant thing too with the fan yelling.
Absolutely,
so.
But I think it could happen. You don't think so, and that's fair.
Yeah,
that's okay. I think we should get into the real thing we care about.
Yeah, this is the Rockies podcast for a reason.
I'll let you take lead on this one.
Yeah, so what a great addition finally to the office, where we can stop focusing on our front office and finally start focusing on players, but we finally got a GM. And what may have seemed like we weren't going to find one for a while.
It's a long wait.
It was a long wait, but we got Josh, what is it, Burns, whatever. Great pickup, I feel like. This was something that I think was well needed. When you look at the aspect, though, too, that Josh and how do you say it? DiPodesta, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
They both worked with each other, and they've known each other for roughly over 30 years around. So it's a great pickup, especially when you look at the background of Josh and what this guy is capable. There goes another one, but that's
down goes
all right.
Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Witt, maybe he gets traded.
I don't think he's getting traded.
Maybe these guys that are falling are getting traded.
Well, I mean, I don't know about our
None
Japanese
of these guys
friend over
are
here
getting traded.
But yeah, for those of you who don't know, he was just in the Dodgers organization, and he oversaw scouting and player development. And my God, do the Rockies need that? And my hope for this is that he can streamline our minor league system a bit, just like he did with the Dodgers. And I believe he had some experience with the Diamondbacks as well. I don't know if he was in that role, but
so he's had every experience with every NOS team besides the Giants now.
Which is I like what we've as a Rockies fan. I really do love what we've done so far, because we brought in DiPodesta, and I just think it's a good change of pace, regardless of what you think about his time in Cleveland. Different sport, different
everything.
And then bringing in someone who has a lot of experience in our division, and our division's great.
Yeah.
They have teams that have the best minor leagues and produce the best pitchers and are able to develop all these guys. And I would love if we could get a slice of that pie.
Yeah, and I mean, really, too, he's been with the Rockies. This is a welcome back type of situation.
Okay.
He started his career as the assistant GM with the Rockies in 1999 to 2002. So he's been with the Rockies organization before. It's not, unusual.
That's
Granted,
good.
It was only
Some familiarity.
Yeah, he knows it, and he said too in a little press conference thing that he's happy to be back. He does like the way that the Rockies are going.
Yeah,
and
I do appreciate that some of these GMs and people we've hired have been like, I want the challenge.
Yeah.
I want to turn this around. I feel like, I mean, these guys have all seen what baseball in Colorado can be when it's good.
Yeah,
and it's electric. Rocktober is amazing.
The best feeling in the world.
And we haven't felt that since 2018. And my God, I was at the last Rockies playoff game, and here we are. I've gone through, 4 schools.
3-4 schools. You have your degree almost.
Yeah, like I'm begging to be back there, and I feel like
you've gone through a high school diploma, years of college.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that, and I really do think that this will be ushering in, maybe not a golden era, but at least a competitive one where we can build and develop players and
maybe spark the flame.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing too is when you look at his track record, yes, he's been with the Dodgers, but he also won a the World Series with the Red Sox in, I believe it was 04?
04, yeah.
And he was only there for 2 years. He was there in the 03 to 05 season. So he knows too what it's like to have a World Series caliber team, especially with the Dodgers. I mean, he won 3 with the Dodgers.
Yeah. Like, if he's been there a while, yeah.
He's been there for about 11 years. So I mean, he knows what he's doing. And the thing is he's not unfamiliar with the West.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the big one.
And like you said, he scouts as well. And if he's like, look, I've seen it. You and I have seen it for a decade. The Padres and the D-backs and the Dodgers having amazing prospects coming up, whether it's hitting or pitching. But if Josh Barnes or Barnes, whatever you say it, if he can streamline our minor league system even a little bit and make it so we're up to date with teams like I swear we are in the dark ages of pitching and recruiting technology.
Yeah, it's so bad.
And these other teams are at the forefront, and I'm hoping we can get a slice of that pie coming into a season. And I mean, I still have very low expectations. But these guys
I think we all do. Yeah, I think every single Rockies fan has low expectations for this year, but
I do think with the guys we've hired, I think they'll eventually get us on the right track, and it's exciting that we can finally start worrying about the product on the field rather than who's making it.
Yeah, and I think too also the big one that this is, especially with his, influence in the minor league and that he had with finding these guys is with the Dodgers, they were able to leverage these minor league players right there. Able to be like, oh, well, we have these top, 5 to 10 guys in our farm system. How about we'll trade 2 or 3 of these guys for your second, third best guy or something, and it helped them out so much. So it's a good pickup for us.
Yeah, I think we're all looking optimistic, and I think we're hoping for steady improvement. That's all we can ask
99
for.
losses this year.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. We're running out of time here, but I'm Matt Sapkoff, and this is Isaac Manaw. I hope you guys come back to the pond. I think we'll be back next week, maybe.
Yeah, the pond's a little frozen right now.
Yes.
So we're ice skating on it right now. But
this offseason's been fun. I think it's only going to get more fun, honestly.
It's gonna get good.
Yeah, I think next episode we'll finally get back to our divisional offseason maps. I know one of our listeners was asking what we think the Royals are going to do. I think we can get into that next week.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Check back in. But for now, I'm Matt Sapkoff, and this is Isaac Manaw.
And
I use your name. You can outro yourself.
Nah, it's okay. It's all right. I'm Isaac Manaw.
All right. We will see you guys next time.
Sweet.
Roll credit.